Welcome to Butterflies of Wisdom, everyone. And yes, you will hear this episode today because today's Thursday. And for those of you that love Harry Potter and want to know more about magic and wizardry and card reading, I have the perfect guest for you. I guess I should call this the Harry Potter episode because Ambika is she actually teaches, believe it or not, at a wizardry school and does oracle card readings and all that good stuff. So I'm going to let Ambika take it away.
Thank you so much, Lynn, and hello to your amazing listening audience. It's such a pleasure and honor to be here. Indeed, I teach at a school of wizardry. It's called the Gray School of Wizardry, and we are located in cyberspace, so anyone and everyone around the world can come and join us. It's a very low tuition fee compared to universities and other schools, and we have an amazing group of professors. All of our professors are teachers. Many of them teach at the university level in their chosen fields, and I think what a lot of people don't realize, Wynn, is that magic exists in a lot of what we consider the muggle or mundane world as well, like math. You know, people wouldn't consider math as a wizardry topic, but we call it math magics. And we talk about things like sacred geometry. So a lot of your metaphysical listeners who want to further their education or knowledge would find a great deal of satisfaction in our school. Did you want to ask me any questions about the school?
Isn't that interesting that you would say a typical subject like math goes into wizardry? I did not know that.
Absolutely. Well, let me share a little bit about why. Since I did jump on one of many people's least favorite topics. I guess because I love math, I understand that. But when we're talking about setting up a ritual, if we're doing a pagan-style ritual, we have to understand what a pentagram is and how to draw one. And so that is a geometric shape and a form. Also, as an astrologer, which I am, I have to understand math because going to school for astrology, I had to learn to calculate using calculus and logarithms in order to actually cast a chart. Yes, indeed, we can do this on computers, but when I went to school for astrology, we, the graduates, had successfully accomplished creating and casting a chart using a calculator and or a slide rule, numerous chart books, and we had to do it within 29 minutes. So we had to do it very quickly considering the math involved. There's a lot of astronomy and there's a lot of math in astronomy, particularly calculus and geometry. And we had to be within a very fine margin of error, meaning we had to be incredibly accurate. But to give you an idea of some of the other departments that we have, all of our departments are color-coded. So indigo is our Department of Wizardry. Silver is Natural Philosophy. Gold is the Department of Magical Practices. Aqua is the department I'm a dean of, which is Psychic Arts. And I think a lot of us think of Psychic Arts as also metaphysical, but Psychic Arts, I'll talk a little bit more about that after I give you the rest of our departments. So Aqua was mine of Psychic Arts. Blue is the Department of Healing. I'm the assistant dean in that department. Green is our wort cunning department, which is herbology and the plant world. We have yellow is the Department of Divination. Orange, the Department of Performance Magic. So those that really want to get on stage and do performance magic can hone their skills and master them. We have red for alchemy and magical sciences, rose, which is lifeways, and that relates a lot to things like the heart and how to be in the world and a lot of the topics that you cover on your show. Brown is our Department of Beast Mastery, which are like fantastic beasts and where to find them. Violet is our Department of Cosmology, and that's the cosmos and the planets, and are very, very closely related to astronomy, but looking at cosmologies from all around the world. Clear is our Department of Math Magics. White, the Department of Ceremonial Magic. Gray, the Department of Lore. And black, we do have a Department of the Dark Arts. And all of our students have to have a foundation. So all of our students, including new faculty, have to pass through foundational courses and successfully master those before they can move on and begin to choose a major and a minor. We have a school for 11 to 17-year-olds, and that's how we got started. And all the adults in the kids' world wanted in, and so we started an adult school for 18 and up. And now, after having this 7-year journeyman program, we are beginning a journeyman school, which we intend to have accredited just as a college and university.
Wow.
Yeah, I know. Amazing, isn't it?
This is fascinating to me because I never knew this existed until today. I never knew that, I knew astrology existed, but I never knew the magic of Harry Potter existed until today. And God knows I'm a big Harry Potter fan. And
I think lots of us are.
I never knew that this existed. My goodness. And so what inspired you to go into this magical world and just delve right into it?
Well, what happened was I started off teaching traditional college. I actually taught junior high and high school for a couple years. And then I had been practicing as a massage therapist, and I went on to teach massage therapy. And during my years of teaching massage therapy, I practiced. I had a home practice and also worked for chiropractors and acupuncturists. And I studied on, and I learned herbology, aromatherapy, Reiki, all sorts of energy healing, and I've always been interested in astrology, and I've been reading tarot cards since I was a child. So I've always been interested in this, and honestly, numerology moves through all of them. Okay. Numerology and vibration is a glue that holds all of this together. And last year, I was reinventing my ads as an astrologer and a tarotist, and I changed my title. And I decided to use the word expert next to astrology. So I had expert astrologer, and I was thinking, what can I do for tarot? I didn't want to be tarot expert. It was redundant. So I decided to use the word wizard. I thought, why not? And it just stuck. And the next thing I knew, a friend encouraged me to open a school of wizardry, and I thought, well, I don't want to open one unless I look around and see if one already exists. And I found the Gray School. It was really easy. I just typed in School of Wizardry on Google, and the Gray School of Wizardry came up, and I looked at their site for a few days, and then I sent them an application letter, and began the application process, and I was hired last year. And I very quickly moved up in the organization and was asked to be assistant dean in a couple departments. And just a few months ago was granted deanship of the psychic arts department, which is my passion because meditation fits into psychic arts. And again, a lot of people don't see the connection there. And that's what my master's studies and PhD studies are on. And that's how I got here.
So, okay. So you taught at, quote, normal school before getting into Wizardry School.
Yes, holistic health, which a little bit alternative. I mean, it's an alternative health college, but now there's naturopathic colleges and acupuncture colleges all over. So it was a little bit outside the box when I did it. I began teaching massage therapy in the late 80s and stayed at that for 21 years and in practice before I retired from it. And then I was teaching at metaphysical bookshops and stores and some yoga studios teaching meditation, but I never felt like I got the quality of student I was looking for, one that was really devoted and really wanted to move further. And in my own meditation and prayer about that, this is what came up, and now I'm just so happy. I love the group of people. It turns out that our headmaster is named Oberon Zell Ravenheart, and he has been publishing a magazine for decades, and I used to read it back in the 80s. So it just kind of is a full circle that I didn't even realize was happening.
Yeah. Oh, my God. Well, it's so funny you say that, Googling schools. I Googled my journalism school, and my God, my journalism school is not like your school. It's a traditional accredited college, but my God, I wish they would throw a little bit of magic journalism into it. But
well, maybe I could guest teach a course.
Yeah, well, we might have to work on that, because I think that people don't understand how magical finding your passion is, and that's what I was going to say. Once you find your passion, whether it's magic or not, you don't seem like you're working. I don't seem like I'm working when I'm doing this podcast. You don't seem like you're working as a teacher in a magical school, because it's your passion.
Definitely. It makes me so happy.
Who said you have to be stuck in a day job for umpteen years? Corporate America is great for some people. Corporate America is not so great for the creative side like us. But corporate America can be so draining. And so people that want to take courses at your school, can they do that and apply?
Absolutely.
Just as a stress relief?
Absolutely. We have in our journeyman school, which if you matriculated and began and then went through all of the levels of your ultimately chosen major and minor, we gauged that it would take you about 7 years to get through our program. And that's how it began, because we imagined 11-year-olds would enter in and then graduate by the time they were 17. We have still that program. We still receive kids all the time, and the tuition fee is under $150 a year for a kid. So it's very affordable, and it's a great thing for kids because all of our work is written. So all of our teachers write our courses, and students respond back in essays. So it really is a journaling school. And as a writer, which I also am, I'm a published and award-winning writer. So I was very attracted to the school because it promoted journaling, which is something I assign to my students all the time and my clients. So that was great for me. Another really cool thing about our school is if people have any type of learning challenge, say a person feels much more comfortable expressing themselves in visual art, many of our courses will receive visual art or performance art as responses to assignments. There are courses where you have to write, but we have all sorts of ways to help our students achieve and feel success. For an adult student, it's about twice that for per year of the younger kids. And that's the same thing moving from point A all the way through the system. But if you're an adult like us and you're creative like you are, Wynn, you can choose to register as a magister. Now that's just a little bit more money, so that gets closer to $300 a year. But then you can take whatever class you want whenever you want, and really as a yearly fee, that's not very much, and get you into our community. And our faculty is so ready, willing, and able to interact and help and guide. I'm one of the ambassadors of our Facebook group, and so when people write to us on Facebook, I'm usually the one who responds. There are a couple other faculty members who respond quickly. There are two of us. My colleague, Nicholas Kingsley, is one. Professor Kingsley and I are both ambassadors of the Facebook realm and social media. And so we do a lot of the outreach like this and doing interviews. Professor Kingsley is very adept at performance, lore, and the bardic arts. Those all fit under the performance art department. He has an excellent course on speaking, which to me relates a lot to the concepts of the Four Agreements, which is another book that I always give to students and advisees.
I was going to ask you that. What is your favorite book?
Oh, my favorite book?
Or of all the books I ever read in my life.
Of all the books I've ever read, my number one favorite book is Jitterbug Perfume by Tom Robbins. Definitely my favorite book. It has a lot of magic in it. It has magical creatures in it. It messes around with time. It talks about time and whether time really exists. And that book was the biggest inspiration I had for my first book, Lilith. Lilith is really autobiographical about me, so if people want to learn more about me, they just need to go to lilithnovel.com and check out my first book. May I give the address for Gray School?
Yes, go ahead.
Oh, Gray School is really easy to get to. It's just grayschool.org or grayschool.com. Some people find one or the other works better for them to get into the site. So it's just GREY and then school, SCHOOL.com. Real easy. And to find me, Ambika's Wisdom, AMBIKAS, and then Wisdom, WISDOM.com. So super easy to find us. And I'm always happy to answer questions. So if anybody finds their way to Gray School and wants to ask me a personal question about the site, they're welcome to go to my site and email me or come on to Facebook and message me through either the school site or my own.
And we will have information about both websites in the show notes, you guys. I know you guys know how to get my show notes by now. So before I let you go, Ambika, and before I let you go back to teaching, preparing lesson plans, which I know teachers have to do, even with the grade school, they have to prepare lesson plans. And I want to know if you have a couple questions for me.
Well, my first question is, do you think you'd like to come and take some classes at our school?
Well, after I I actually would, because I actually need to extend my speaking degree, and what a way to do it. What a way to do it in a way that Harry Potter-esque speaking class, I should say. So you might find me knocking on grade school's door, because I definitely need to expand my speaking skills. And what a fun way to do it. Do it in a Harry Potter way, and because J.K. Rowling did a fantastic job with those books. And for those of you that haven't read J.K. Rowling's book, stop, hit pause on this podcast, please, and go find J.K. Rowling on Amazon. She's on Amazon, I know, and they're wonderful books. And so if you want to learn more about Harry Potter and why this episode is so special to me, go find Harry Potter.
It's definitely fun and inspiration. And I think, so many kids that have grown up and are now young adults, this is a really neat adjunct to whatever path of study they have. A wizard truly is a wise person. This is where the word wizard comes from. It comes from the same root of wise. And we teach a lot of skills which I think have fallen to the wayside in traditional education. We also have a virtual reality school, which is great for people who might have challenges getting out to a physical school and that want to have the experience of interacting live with one another. So in addition to our online school, we have a virtual reality school in Second Life, and you create an avatar, and our teachers are in avatar form. We have a huge campus that you can explore with lots and lots of Easter eggs to find. We even have treasure hunts set up. And we have clubs that outsiders who aren't a part of our school can come and participate in. All they have to do is be on Second Life. Again, they can find all that information out by connecting with me on Facebook. And we have different clubs, like a divination club, a dark arts club. We have a book club. And these are like discussion groups. And then we have formal classes that our students who are matriculated can come and take live with a teacher. And that gives a student who really prefers live one-on-one interaction the opportunity to do that. And all of our teachers are so ready, willing, and able to take time to nurture and help students grow in their knowledge. It's really wonderful.
It is. It is. And do you have any other questions for me?
Well, you did mention that you were interested in the voice aspect, which would be in our performance magic track. Is there any other form of magic that interests you?
Oh, if I had time, I would love to be an astrologist. I think I need to do that for my Second Life or something, because I had my astrology read several years ago, and of course several years have gone by now, and so I want to learn how to do it myself. I want not only learn how to speak better in the Harry Potter sense, but I want to learn about astrology. I definitely want to learn about astrology and reading charts. You guys didn't know that I love astrology when it comes down to it.
Excellent. Well, maybe we can do a show in the future about astrology. I'd love to do that with you. I teach astrology for grade school, so you would be my student. That would be great.
To have to do a show on astrology. Now my fans know my big secret here. Don't tell anyone. Well, Blow the cat's out of the bag now. You guys know I love alternative medicine, and now you guys know I love astrology. So that would be great if I could get that under my belt, just so I would learn something about astrology that I need to know, possibly for journalism, but possibly just to use it as a fun aspect. So, would be a closing piece of advice for this interview?
Well, I would love everyone to know that inside them is a wizard, a very wise person. And the beginning steps are being very clear with your speech and about what you say, primarily about yourselves, because it's so important to speak about ourselves with kindness. And that relating to nature and beyond nature into the cosmos is where we gain our great insight and power. And so it's so important for us to connect with nature and the astrological aspect of knowing where the moon is and watching the moon phases and the seasonal changes. Even if you live in a place where it may seem like the seasons don't change so profoundly, like me in Florida, people think we don't have seasons, but it's quite cool right now. Actually, we're all pretty blissed out.
Oh, yes, you do.
And we definitely do. So just the subtleties and watching animals and just connecting more and taking more time, because as I mentioned earlier, one of the secret keys of your psychic abilities and your knowing, your inner knowing, is meditation. And so just to take time out to meditate, even if it's just going for a walk, you know, a quiet walk where you're not on a cell phone or listening to anything but the breeze and the animals and the birds and the leaves and just tuning in. That is the first step to being a great wizard.
Well, that's wonderful closing advice. And as I said to you guys, we'll have this in the show notes. And I'll try to set it up today. Hopefully my IT wizardry would come into play, because I have to set up a new laptop for someone of all things. Not me, I didn't get a new laptop. But, hopefully my IT wizardry would come into play. But I'll try my hardest to get this episode up today, if not early next week. We'll drop this special episode on Monday.
Sounds great.
The episode comes out on Tuesday. And I would like to thank you, Ambika, for taking the time to come on this podcast and explain the real-life Harry Potter to my listeners. And as I said, I appreciate you guys supporting this podcast, downloading it, sharing it, and please share this episode out so we can make the Butterfly of the Wisdom community as big as we can, wizards included and normal people alike included. Thanks to you guys.
Are you still there?